Ladies and gentlemen, we are under attack. Our very way of life, our very existence is threatened. They have already taken over Washington. They continue to destroy our Constitution. It is time to take back our country now.
The Wise Conservative Show, bringing wisdom back to politics.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Wise Conservative Show. Once again, I am your host, Connor Wise. So tonight it is a little different. It is not live. We're still having some software issues, but I decided to go and record a non-live episode. It is slightly late from when we normally upload our episodes, but I just wanted to get it out to you guys since we did not have an episode last week. We have a packed episode, so stay tuned and, well, take a seat and listen to the Wise Conservative Show. So, a lot has happened this week in election news. So, just last night, actually, was very surprising in the Kentucky primary. So, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders were basically neck-to-neck all the way up until the very end of this primary battle. Hillary Clinton just edged out Bernie with 46.8% to Bernie's 46.3%. Now, because they are only 0.5% off from each other, both Bernie and Hillary both received 27 delegates. Now, this really is important, and it's important to all of us, actually, because this is not just a Democratic primary. This is a primary that shows that a lot of people are fed up with Hillary Clinton. The success of Bernie Sanders shows that so many more people, more and more actually, have a growing anti-Hillary sentiment. Now, this could be for a number of reasons, but I really think it's because Hillary just does not know when to stop her lying and her pandering. This is important because Bernie Sanders is quite honestly gaining momentum, and that's just taking more and more people away from the Hillary camp. If you remember correctly, Hillary Clinton needs those Bernie supporters, and 30% of those Bernie supporters in polls have said that they won't vote for Hillary. That's a large portion, and that's more and more people as Hillary Clinton's, the anti-Hillary Clinton sentiment is growing and people are voting more and more for Bernie. Bernie also won Oregon last night. So Bernie Sanders, well, we already know that he's not going to get the nomination. Him continuing this campaign is helping us Republicans. Because of him, more and more people are switching to an anti-Hillary sentiment. That's exactly what we need, folks. This is a very divided time in the Republican Party. But we can see that it is a very divided time in the Democrat Party as well. Now, here's why I really think that Hillary Clinton lost. Because she time after time has said comments that she's going to put coal miners out of business. If you remember a few episodes back, we played the clip of her saying that she is going to put a lot of coal miners and a lot of coal businesses coal companies out of business. Kentucky is a big part of coal country, folks. This just made the blue-collar voters, those voters who are more destined to vote Democrat, they commonly vote Democrat over, say, the rich, they were offended by this. These blue-collar workers that are in the coal industry. These blue-collar workers that Hillary Clinton said she was going to put out of business. And on top of that, just to show the real kind of person that she is, she went back on her words and said that she would really be helping coal miners in poverty. Now, first off, I don't know how she could make a misstatement and go from saying that she's putting people out of business, out of a job, into saying that she is going to be helping people. She got caught showing her true intentions, and now she is lying about it to the American people. And the people of Kentucky noticed that. They noticed that Hillary Clinton went back on her words, lied to their faces, and said that when she was saying that she wasn't actually going to put them out of business, but she was going to help them. I quite honestly do not even understand how Hillary Clinton can even say so many lies. She's a pathological liar. Time after time throughout this entire presidential election, Hillary Clinton has lied to the American people. Time after time in this presidential election, Hillary Clinton has done whatever she needs to do in order to secure the nomination. And that includes changing her stances, that includes lying, that includes doing just about anything that the voters think is cool. She went on national television and tried to do dance moves to get the young vote. All she looked like was an idiot. But even with all this, Hillary Clinton is now only 90 delegates away from being the nominee. Sadly, this movement, this anti-Hillary sentiment that is growing among, young people, blue-collar workers, sadly, this sentiment did not take effect sooner. Because if this has taken effect sooner, she actually might have a run for her money. This has happened twice now, within 2 states where Bernie Sanders was not supposed to even come close to winning. Bernie Sanders himself, in this case, said that he didn't stand a chance. It's happened twice, Michigan and Kentucky. In both of these states, Sanders surprised. And that is because Hillary Clinton continues to pander, she continues to lie, she continues to be the typical politician, doing whatever it takes to gain more power. And she doesn't realize that I hope she doesn't realize that she's doing this, because it happens so often. She changes to whatever she thinks will get the most votes, and up until now, it actually has worked. Up until now, she's cheated and lied her way to the nomination. Up until now, she did not have a run for her money. Now, while Bernie Sanders does not stand a chance to get the nomination because of superdelegates, Hillary Clinton is far more opposed than she was a month ago, 2 months ago, even 3 months ago. Hillary Clinton actually does not stand as much of a chance in the general election as everyone once thought. There are a lot of polls coming out now that are saying that Donald Trump actually could win a general election against Hillary. Now, if we look back to last year and we looked at the general election polls, Trump was the worst of the Republicans against Hillary Clinton. But now, in the polls, Trump is beating Hillary Clinton in some of them. Now, of course, you won't hear that from Hillary supporters. They'll say that those polls are biased. They're just afraid of the cold, hard truth, folks. They're afraid that there is a rising anti-Hillary sentiment within America. A rising sentiment that could end her career, that could end her presidential bid, that could end her days in Washington. And we see it through a lot of different things, folks. We see it from the polls. We see it from the votes. We see it just from everyday people talking. We see that people do not want a woman who let 4 people die in Benghazi. We see that people do not want a woman to be president that was Secretary of State during one of our worst foreign policies. We see that people do not want someone who has time after time lied to their faces to be president of the United States. And this is exactly why this general election is so crucial, people. This is exactly why us Republicans, us conservatives, us Americans, we must come together, unite against a common foe. Unite against the woman that is trying to take away our rights. Unite against Hillary Clinton. Because she is the far worst option that is even on the table. She is one of the worst options that could possibly even be in the race. So, fellow Republicans, fellow Americans even, we must unite. We must come together. And I know 1 episode ago, I spent basically the whole episode saying that we must unite. We must back Donald Trump. And I'm going to take some more time right now to say that. Because it is so very crucial. It is very crucial that we do not vote for a third-party candidate. Because they're never going to win. It is very crucial for us to give Donald Trump those votes that were counted in that poll, in the polls that put him ahead of Hillary Clinton, so that he may beat her. It's going to be a close election no matter what. But we need to out-edge that woman. We need to out-edge Hillary Clinton so that we can keep our personal rights, we can keep our freedoms. Hillary Clinton is far worse than Donald Trump. And you never Trump people better realize that. You better realize that Hillary Clinton is going to ruin America. She's going to ruin everything that we stand for. She doesn't know how to deal with foreign policy. We can see that when she was Secretary of State. She let 4 Americans die in Benghazi. And then she lied to the American public's face, saying that it was due to a video, not due to terrorism. She, along with Barack Obama, have still not ever uttered the words radical Islamic jihadism. Trump definitely has uttered those words, people. He definitely knows the real threat, and that is ISIS. He knows that we must do something before they attack us again. Unification is key to preserving our liberties. It is key to preserving the Union. Unification must happen in order for us to quite honestly save America. I really do believe that if Hillary Clinton becomes president, that we won't have gun rights anymore. I really do believe that if Hillary Clinton becomes president, our country will go further and further into debt. And if Hillary Clinton is president, she is going to enforce so many different restrictive laws on not only businesses, but on us. She's going to expand intrusive programs, unnecessary programs, and launch America further and further into debt and destroy relations with our greatest ally, Israel. This is what you have to look forward if you do not vote for Trump in the general. This is what you have to look for if you do not unite now. Don't go anywhere, guys. I'll be back after this short commercial break.
The idea behind Youth Revolt is to let them, these liberal professors, let them know that we are here and we're ready to fight.
Youth Revolt. Speak without fear.
8 years with Obama, and now no one knows what bathroom to use.
The Wise Conservative Show. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Only on Youth Revolt.
Tune in to Millennials Rising, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday nights, for a conservative outlook on pop culture and American politics. Together we can reinstitute values back into our nation's young people and help create an alternative path away from the mainstream liberal agenda. Tune in to Millennials Rising, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday nights, only on Youth Revolt. How's it going, everyone? Jason Veely here. I want to tell you about YouthRevolt.org, the ultimate media network for young conservatives. Youth Revolt features a lineup of young radio hosts, columnists, and video bloggers. These are some of the most courageous and articulate millennials out there. Give them some support and check out YouthRevolt.org. YouthRevolt.org. Speak without fear.
Hey, little boy, you want some free college?
Bernie Sanders, that creepy uncle your mom warned you about. The Wise Conservative Show. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Only on Youth Revolt.
Hello and welcome back to the Wise Conservative Show. Once again, I am your host, Connor Wise. So before the break, we were talking about Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, how it is necessary to actually unite against Hillary Clinton, and all the different faults that she's had throughout this presidential election. Well, as we did touch on Trump being better than Hillary in the last segment, we're going to basically only talk about Trump in this segment. Bear with me. It's going to be a great segment, actually. It's about these Supreme Court justices right now, actually. So Trump, just today, actually, released a potential Supreme Court justice nominee list. Now, on this list, it had Stephen, and I'm sorry if I butcher any of these names, Stephen Colleton of Iowa, Allison Ide of Colorado, Raymond Gruender of Missouri, Thomas Hardiman of Pennsylvania, Raymond Kethledge of Michigan, Joan Larson of Michigan, Thomas Lee of Utah, William Pryor of Alabama, David Strauss of Minnesota, Diane Sykes of Wisconsin, and Don Willett of Texas. Now, if you actually look at all of these people's records, they have one of the most conservative records that you could even pick. These people are known for being conservative. These people are known for having a very strict interpretation of the Constitution. They're known to having an interpretation of the Constitution that is very similar to that of Scalia. Now, we did an episode a long time ago talking about the necessity of putting in a conservative justice to replace Scalia, not only just to honor him, but to save our country. And these names, these 11 people, are perfect to fill Scalia's position. They time after time have proven that they're dedicated to keeping our freedoms and liberties, to interpreting the Constitution so that government does not take over. That is exactly what we need, folks. Now, I know there are some of you out there who are never Trump, and in the last segment, I might have made you a little mad. But you cannot deny the fact that this list is very good. That this list shows that he knows what America needs. Trump may not be the perfect conservative, but he definitely picked very close to perfect conservatives for his justice nominees. And I've already heard some Never Trump people saying that he picked good people. I've already heard a bunch of conservatives saying that this is a very good list. This list is one of the best things that he's done in his campaign, I'm going to be honest. Trump has not done a lot of things recently that show what he would do actually in the presidency. But this, showing the list of people that he might nominate, this shows that he's not only thinking about an election, but he's thinking about when he's going to be president. He's thinking about the future of our country. He's thinking about making America great again. He's thinking about our rights. He's thinking about our liberties. And these conservatives show that he actually values conservative values. While he has not gone out and talked about conservative values as much as someone, say, Ted Cruz has, he definitely holds them, and this is proven through these justices that he wants to nominate. This is proven through the list that he has brought forth to the American public. He has been trying, time after time, to get these Never Trump people to come on over to his campaign. And this latest example of him trying is a very good example. This latest example is enough to prove that he does truly care about the future of our country, that he does truly care about the Constitution, and that he truly cares about how great of an honor it is to even being able to be president. He is going to make good decisions, folks. He is going to make decisions that will help our country. And he let some of them known, other than just these justices. He also let it known that he was going to, if he becomes president, I believe, speak to Kim Jong-un in order to negotiate for North Korea to stop their nuclear program. Now, this already has many critics, including Hillary Clinton's campaign, who said that this was a horrible idea and that he was going to open negotiations with North Korea but not with our allies. No, what Trump is doing is keeping a line to try and get North Korea to stop being such of a threat. Right now, North Korea is the biggest threat in the world towards us. We don't know what their capabilities are. Keeping a line open with your enemies is one of the best options you can do. In the wise words of Ronald Reagan, peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will sacrifice for it, negotiate for it, but we will not surrender for it, now or ever. Now notice that he said negotiate for it. He was open to negotiations with the USSR in order to end the Cold War. He was open with negotiations with the USSR in order to create the destruction of the Berlin Wall. He had discussions with Gorbachev time after time. They were our enemies. We were at war with them. Yet he still negotiated with their leader in order to preserve both of our countries, in order to preserve the world. If he didn't do that, who knows if nuclear war was imminent? negotiations are key to keeping peace. We have seen time after time, presidents in the past have tried to negotiate with North Korea. They've tried to negotiate to get them to stop their nuclear program. And there have been deals that have been made, but they've just been broken. But I believe that Donald Trump can create a deal that benefits us and gets their nuclear program gone. He negotiates for a living, folks. He did not create a multi-billion-dollar business corporation without negotiating. He is good at negotiating, obviously. If he was able to achieve such greatness within the business side of America, I really do believe that he can and will, if he becomes president, help us out by getting North Korea to stop the production or even creation of their nuclear program. Because we all know that Kim Jong-un is one of the biggest threats, one of the biggest wild cards in the world. He has launched many test missiles recently, some into the ocean, some into orbit. And this is because he thinks that we're not taking him seriously. This is because he thinks that the sanctions we're putting on them are going to ruin his country, and quite honestly, they are ruining his country. North Korea is running out of food. But he is taking a militant approach because we're not talking to them. We're not trying to solve this issue. The Korean War has been going on far too long. We've never even had a peace treaty. It's just a ceasefire right now. If we can end this war, we will be in much better stance. Our country will be better off. South Korea will be better off. Our allies will be better off. Because we all know that North Korea does not care if they start a nuclear war. Kim Jong-un does not care how many millions of people die. All he cares about is power. So being able to negotiate with him would be a good idea. It's a great idea, in fact. And I'm really in support of this idea that Donald Trump just said. I'm really in support of his open-mindedness. There are a lot of people who would say, no, they're our enemy, we can't talk to them. But those people haven't looked at the past. Those people, including Hillary Clinton's campaign, have not looked at what has worked in the past. Short of going to all-out war again, there is no other way we're going to end this conflict. This is the only option to this problem. And this is the same approach that Ronald Reagan took with the Cold War. This is the same approach that has been used time after time in American history. And it has worked, folks. It has saved people, saved lives. We don't want to send our soldiers to more war. We don't want to send South Korea's soldiers to more war. We don't want to send anyone to war. But if we don't open negotiations, if we don't start talking to them, getting them to stop this nuclear program, that's exactly what is going to happen. Hillary Clinton needs to realize that this is helpful for our country and stop trying to use this as an opportunity to gain more political power. She needs to stop trying to twist his words into saying that we're going to be allies with North Korea, because that's really what she's trying to twist his words to sound like. Time after time, the left has twisted Donald Trump's words into making him sound racist, sexist, into all of these different things, when in fact, he is not actually any of this. And once again, we see that Hillary Clinton and the left, they're trying to twist Donald Trump's words, trying to make this sound like a bad idea. trying to manipulate all of us Americans into hating Donald Trump. Because she knows that Donald Trump is a threat to her power within the establishment. That he is a threat to her power within the entire government. She knows that Donald Trump would be a good president, but she will not admit it because she wants to continue to gain more and more power. That's really all I believe she's going for here. She just wants power. And her saying that this idea is bad, that he's not going to have relations with our current allies, it's complete nonsense. Donald Trump did not say that he was going to stop relations with our current allies, but she's continually trying to twist his words. So don't listen to what these people are telling you, folks. Don't listen to what the left is trying to spew. Don't listen to what the liberal media is trying to spew at you. Donald Trump has his mind on right. He knows what will help this country. And he knows how to make America great again. I know it's a cheesy line, but it's a great line. That's all for today's episode of the Wise Conservative Show. I would like to thank you for tuning in. I know it's a little odd, it's going up late, but it is an episode. I apologize for the inconvenience. Make sure you catch us next week, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully we'll be live again next week. Dakota Wise should be back next week. He's been dealing with the end of his college school year, so he will be back here again next week. All right. Once again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Connor Wise, and this has been The Wise Conservative Show.